Hey, Mark here. I have 5 4K UHD Blu-ray copies of The Running Man up for grabs, and if you'd like to enter for a chance to win, just shoot me a message back, Mark. Edgar Wright rules, and he loads up his releases with commentaries, behind-the-scenes documentaries, and I would love to learn about how he made the 2025 film The Running Man. So, if you're interested in winning a copy, just shoot me a message and let me know. In this fun, high-octane thrill ride, one man turns a deadly game show into the ultimate spectacle by outrunning hunters, dismantling the system, and becoming the hero of a nation addicted to chaos. The new The Running Man movie is now available to buy on 4K, DVD, Blu-ray, and digital.
Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me, Megan Hoffmeyer.
Sarah Newark, DJ Valentine, Billy Business, and Brendan Peters. This is Andy Boyes. It's Nathan Leahy. It's David Cross. It's Jake Lewitt. Norbert Morvan. It's Lisa Leahy. Joey Lewandowski. John Levingood. Professor Mike Dillon. Nick React. Niall Moore. Adam Youngblood Hunt. Eric Hoffmeyer. It's Johnny Nunn. Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who loves it when sports mascots attack him in spacious kitchens. It's Norbert Morvan.
Thank you, Mark. Now, we should all agree that the mayor's wife has been most annoying.
Yes. And she's just sniffling the whole time, and he shoots her.
Then he just murders her. He
Oh,
just
man.
Foss is
You
the look. Oof, go ahead,
You won't be
And
up for
then-
re-election, and then he kills the mayor.
son. The man spends an hour and a half just spitting bars every time he is on screen. Every single time, everything is a bar.
With this just gorgeous voice, this
Oh.
powerful voice, Powers Booth.
Mellifluous, the late Powers Booth. Like, why is he the late Powers Booth? That it irks me to no end. That man needs to be like just now here. And I'm so glad that he didn't survive long enough to get to the AI where everybody's just jacking his voice and putting it on weird crap. It's the man is fantastic. Everything he says is a bar in this movie. Every time he's on screen, the movie you have to stare at. Unbelievable, this guy as an actor. Everything he's been in was awesome. Oh my God, that movie with what's his name? Bill Paxton, Frailty.
Yeah. I mean, I've covered a lot of his movies: Tombstone, Sudden Death, Frailty, MacGruber, Rapid Fire.
MacGruber.
He's been Powers Booth is an MFF all-star. So I love that about him. But he's such an a-hole in this movie, and I kind of love it. I love how just much of a jerk he is, because I was reading this thing from Joe Blow, and they call him a glorious dick, the villain in this movie. Just Joshua Foss. So they call him a glorious dick. He shoots random people for punchlines. He has a lighter that looks like a bomb.
Yes, for no reason.
And then he looks at a little girl and goes, "Would you like it if I filled your little mouth with spiders?"
And he was serious.
And he's just a murderer, and I love him. It's like it's so good. Okay, hey, I set something up for you, and I have a very important question for you, and it's a two-part question. Start, bench, drop.
Okay.
JCVD's 1990s action films that actually have pretty good tomato meter scores, right? Hard Target, Sudden Death, Time Cop. Start, bench, drop.
Hard Target, Sudden Death, Time Cop. Hard Target, Sudden Death, Time Cop. Gonna drop Hard Target. Gonna bench Time Cop. Gonna start Sudden Death. Just because of Powers Booth, man. Powers Booth.
He's better than Hendrickson.
Lance Hendrickson is cool in Hard Target when the jacket gets set on fire and he just casually flicks it away. Whatever, burning jacket, And Time Cop, you have, the jazzy sex scene and the cool time travel thing. But look, there is a reason why there's an entire genre of film called Die Hard on a Noun, because it just keeps getting more and more weird and interesting. Die Hard on a Train, Under Siege 2, Die Hard on a Boat, Under Siege, Speed 2, weird, terrible Die Hard on a boat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Willem Dafoe acting his face off.
Right. Air Force One, Die Hard on a Plane. But there's a reason why the original Die Hard, which is Die Hard in a Skyscraper, is the best. because McLean, that everyman thing that he's got going, and the villain, Gruber, where are my detonators? And the reason why you have to start sudden death is because Powers Booth is equal to Gruber with just the plan, the execution of the plan. Like he's got all the bases covered, and he's a real diabolical piece of shit. He's a bad person.
And then the
He just wants his
mustache.
bread. Oh my God. Oh, smoking the cigarettes and just shooting women. He will shoot a woman, a child, the unarmed. If you're Secret Service, you catch it in the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, the plan is so good. Like the plan is flawless. He's got 20 dudes because the goal is to steal $1.5 billion from the CIA slush funds. And he's like, yeah, we'll probably lose $1 billion. But you know what? 500 million, we're going to get that. And that's why there's 20 dudes on his squad. There is plenty of money to go around. 1995,
Yeah, they're
500
swimming in it.
million, $500 million in 95. Whew.
And JCVD wrecks it.
He tries. He tries his best, man. When this movie came out, they shot it in about 90 days the year before. He's just completely wrapped in his drug phase,
Drug addiction.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10 G's a week.
But the good
on
news is he
blow.
had Peter Hyams, who, his son directed him in Universal Soldier Regeneration, Universal Soldier
Right.
Day of Reckoning, really good movies. And Peter shot him.
Yes.
But at least he
Mhm.
had Peter there for Time Cop and Sudden Death because he's a professional.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Peter, I mean, this guy knew what he was doing. I mean, even with End of Days, Relic, Sudden Death, Time Cop, I mean, Narrow
I love
Margin,
all of
Running
those.
Scared, like
All of
Star
those.
Chamber,
Yep.
Outland, Duke can
Mhm.
direct. And
Mhm.
I think when you look at his movies, you just think this guy's a professional. this guy,
Period.
Gene Hackman worked with him twice. No, Sean Connery worked with him. Like this big names
Mhm.
worked with him. I think JCVD deeply cared in these movies, but yeah, he was
He did.
flying high.
He did.
But
He
he's
did.
lucky he had a good director, though. That's
Yes.
you see him in Street Fighter and all these kind of films. But you know what I like too about Sudden Death? The reason it's stood the test of time is because, and Hard Target too, because it's such a John Woo movie. But Sudden Death works because of the penguin fight, the hockey scene.
Yes.
Like I think Peter was like, we're making this movie because the owners of this team own this building. So Karen Baldwin, she was an actress. And then they also had another script about a guy who defects by playing a goalie, which is why he's in this scene. So like you have Howard Baldwin, Karen Baldwin, they own the Penguins, they own the building. Like, this is a good building. We could do like a Die Hard in here. So then they get a script, they change it. Peter comes in and it's just a Die Hard clone. And so he adds a penguin fight in a kitchen, which we've covered on MFF, and we gave it 3 Michelin stars for the fight scene. It's a great fight scene, but
it's sick. Yeah.
Incredible. But I just love that this could have been a knockoff, but instead the director's like, no, JCVD is going to fight a penguin. He's going to murder a guy with a chicken bone.
Yes.
Let me read you these kills. So
go for it.
I was looking up the kills, but they're hilarious the way they're explained. So let me find them. Okay, where are you? Okay, Carla, strangled by her mascot head strap and a dishwasher by a kick from Chief Darren Francis.
Seriously.
And then Tui, stabbed in the neck by Chief Darren Francis with a bone.
Wait, isn't he McCord?
Yeah, they call him Chief Darren Francis Thomas McCord. I don't know why that name's so long.
That's hilarious.
Secret Service agent Matthew Hallmark, beaten to death by Chief Darren Francis Thomas McCord with a flashlight after he set him on fire.
Yes, he was.
Unnamed terrorist shot in the throat with a makeshift nail gun. Like,
he's so crafty, dude.
That's why this movie rules. There's like a Home Alone section to it. There's an entire hockey scene that makes no sense, but it's incredible.
That's right.
You have a really mean kid. A daughter gets kidnapped twice. I love
the daughter.
movie.
The daughter is the reason why, if I had 2 kids, I'd have just let one go. Come back to the wife. Look, I got good news and bad news. Here's Tyler, but the other one, at the very, you can turn her room, let's say, into, I don't know, a new office. She just kept running away.
She got kidnapped twice.
We had to let that girl go. Yeah, we had to let that girl go.
You know how much I went through to save her?
You know what I mean? Like, her self-preservation is off, and in Darwinian terms, you just got to let that kid go. A bird would have let her fall out the nest and not gone back after her. The girl keeps, it's who, daddy, it's him. It's a stem. That's another thing too. The Chekhovs in this movie,
So many.
Chekhov's gun. Chekhov's gun is one thing, but you got Chekhov's goalie, you got Chekhov's sign language, you got Chekhov's water gun,
Oh my
you got
gosh.
Chekhov's stamp, you know what I mean? There's so many Chekhovs in here. If the building is falling down around you, you don't move. Chekhov's threat. The kid never moves.
I didn't move,
And
Dad.
this
I didn't move.
and like he traumatized the little boy. He was traumatized. Discipline, and this is the hilarious thing. Basic parenting traumatized that kid. On top of the fact that yes, everyone was about to be murdered in a horrific series of explosions. And then that's another thing too. One of the bombs was under the bleachers. Like he wasn't just trying to bring the structure down. He was going to murder hundreds of people before the building collapses on the thousand.
And he would have been totally
Diabolical.
happy with it. Totally
Yes,
happy.
yes. I had an idea. I had this idea, and we're all gonna make it work or die trying. That's my man, son.
Yeah, he's in it to win it. He's not folding. And then before we get further into sudden death, I put together a list. So we've talked about basketball. You're a big basketball fan. I like basketball.
Yeah.
We've put together a horror movie basketball squad. So what I did was I sent you 12 JCVD movies.
Yes, sir.
They're on the bench of Norbert's JCVD basketball squad. You have to start
Okay.
5. So you're on your bench. So on your bench are Bloodsport, Kickboxer, Hard Target. These are JCVD movies specifically. I left out Street Fighter because it's such an ensemble. Bloodsport, Kickboxer, Hard Target, Sudden Death, Time Cop, The Quest, Lionheart, Nowhere to Run, Cyborg, Universal Soldier, Double Impact, Death Warrant. Which 5 do you start?
Okay.
So I sent you in the chat here in Zoom. If you need
Yeah,
to
I
see
got it. No, I got
Okay.
it, baby. I got it. All right. So we're gonna start. Here's the top 5 in no particular order. Literally, Bloodsport, Kickboxer, Sudden Death, Cyborg, and see, that's the thing. Because Bloodsport and Kickboxer is basically the same movie.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
But you don't have to rely on his acting. You know what I
Nope.
mean? Sudden Death, you can see he's got to do this family thing. He's got to be exhausted. He's got to show the range. And that's where he starts to drag. But yeah, Bloodsport, Kickboxer, Sudden Death, Cyborg, and I like the rest of them are basically 5. I do like Hard Target though.
Yeah.
Lionheart to me was just
A pool fight.
too elaborate. It was too elaborate version of Bloodsport and Kickboxer, but it's still a good movie. No Retreat, No Surrender. He was the villain in that one. That's why you can't put that on a list. But that one had the great
That's a great movie.
cinematography.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a great villain in that one. Universal Soldier's cool. Death Warrant, Double Impact. Is that the one where he plays twins?
Yeah, both of them.
All right. Let's just go Time Cop. Yeah,
Oh, I
let's
like
just go
that.
Time.
So I'm gonna
Let's
go
go
with
Time Cop.
I'm going Bloodsport, Hard Target, Sudden Death, Cyborg, Universal Soldier.
Universal
No.
Soldier's sweet.
I'll put Universal at center because Dolph is in it.
Mhm.
I'll put Hard Target and Sudden Death at forward.
Mhm.
And then I'll put Bloodsport and Cyborg as the guards.
Those are your guards. Those are
Yeah.
your guards. That works for me. That works for me, man. Because Cyborg, you have that utterly batshit villain. I like
Bender.
the misery. I like this world.
We gotta
He's
talk
just-
Cyborg. I own a crazy Blu-ray of it. I need to justify it.
Like it's beyond nihilism. That guy's beyond nihilism. It just exists to just kill things and be insane. And if you look at these movies, these are not $100 million budgeted movies either.
They're Canon Films.
These are canon films, and these movies are making 70, 80, 90, 100. Like he was an incredibly profitable star.
Yeah.
His movies, the initial movies were incredibly profitable, and even Sudden Death didn't make like 100 million, but it still made way more than its budget.
Because it's good.
Yeah, it's just
Sudden-
entertainment.
Like, that's a great point. And this is a movie you watch on cable.
Mhm.
You're
Constantly.
it's on TNT, and you're like, yo, the goalie scene's coming up. Where's that kitchen fight at? Like you're just
Yes.
or just where's that really squirrely guy who's like, I can't find my dog. Can you tell me where my dog is? And then he just murders people and then he gets killed with a chicken bone. But
Yeah.
I like that's yeah, this is a movie you put on and you just can enjoy. And I watched all the promotional videos for this. He went on and did all the talk shows, and the main thing he talked about, he's a dad, but something tragic happened, and his kids don't like him anymore. They think he's weak, and he changes light bulbs. I'm like, he's actually doing a very important job. And his kid's
Seriously.
his kid's a divorced child in the 90s, and so he's probably has
Right.
some trauma, but his kid's
Right.
still a dickhead. And
Yeah, the son is the worst.
yeah,
The son is the worst.
really mean to the little girl. And
Mhm.
like the stepdad's like the coolest guy in this movie. He's like,
Yes.
oh, yeah, all right, I get that. And then the mom, even the mom's not that bad. She's like, you can't just come over here and be like, hey, I'm taking the kids. But then she
Fair.
goes, yeah, that's actually a pretty good. It's game 7. You can go. Like, that's fair.
Right. Right.
Like,
Right.
I like them, but the kid's an asshole.
He's the worst. He's the
Yeah.
worst.
But he's like, yeah, I got
And-
this kid, and then I got to save the day. But then I play hockey because he's probably just loaded on these interviews. And he's like, but then my kids,
Oh yeah.
but then my kids, they love me because I saved the day. And it's like he didn't want to talk about any of the action. He was just like, but my kids, my kids saved the day. I saved the day for my kids, and then they love me. But another thing that this movie can't be like, you can't beat it because they actually filmed at the Civic Arena, the Igloo.
Oh yeah. The
Like,
verisimilitude is real in this movie. Yes.
The on location work is great because they owned it. They drop a
Mhm.
helicopter into the ice. I mean, the helicopter takes about 43 minutes to drop, and Powers Boothe is just going, no. But the on location work, and for most importantly, this movie has a fun personality to it. And I love that so much when he starts playing hockey.
Bruh. Chekhov's goalie. That's what that is. Go ahead. Continue.
Also,
That's Chekhov's goalie.
Tyler annoyed me a lot. Hey, that's Brad
Yes.
Tolliver, Dad. He doesn't have a rocking chair. A what? My
Yes.
dad said you should be sitting. It's like, Tyler, you're like 12. You know better. You're just being a shit right now. My dad said you should be sitting in a rocking chair. Like, that's like something a 4-year-old, 7-year-old would say. Like,
That's right.
he's trying to put his dad in the middle of it. Oh man.
This is it. This is it, man. His father, first of all, takes him to a historic game. Because game 7, period, full stop. Whether or not they blow up the arena, game 7, 2 best words in sports. Your father just got you tickets that even in the 90s would be worth several $100s, if not 1,000. All right. He takes you to the locker room. He introduces you to the hot blonde who's actually not a fat guy in a penguin suit. Okay. He gives you free food. You got sweet seats to watch this game, bro. And all you do is chop your dad. He just changes light bulbs. He's too scared to be a firefighter. Bro, do you understand what happened to your father? He tried his best to save a little girl that looks like your sister, kind of. And then a building falls on him, killing the child. Not only does he survive in all this trauma, but they fire him afterwards, apparently, because there's no reason for him to stop. You do understand that the job of a firefighter is to go through traumatic shit on a regular basis.
Yeah.
You're running into flame, which is the opposite of what, I don't know, millennia of Darwinism teaches us not to do. You don't run into fire, okay? So those dudes get traumatized, all right? And you know what the solution is not to do? Fire them when they go through the trauma.
It's the 90s still, though.
You know what I mean?
Hey, don't be a bitch, Norbert.
Exactly.
Yo, my dad's a bitch. It's like, no, he's a hero.
The little girl, she died in my arms. Yeah, you're fired, dude. You're fired. What do you mean? The building fell upon me. Yeah, you know what? Pack of shit. You're out of here. You're done. You're the worst firefighter we've ever seen. Oh, yeah. By the way, your son hates you.
You're a coward.
You're a coward. Like, what? So this is, and that's the problem. He's not a good enough actor to really give you all of that emotion, because he should be always, you do get the vague, he's trying, but again, 10,000 a week cocaine habit at the time. And that's why I watched this movie a few times this week. And then I went and watched JCVD, because, oh my God, that monologue that he gives, that 6-minute monologue, he nails it.
Yeah.
He nails it. And that is the real emotion. But it took him having to go through all of this in life to get there. He did not have the experience to show you the emotion. So when you see that, Stallone was attached to this, ladies and gentlemen, Stallone's a better actor than Van Damme.
Oh, yeah.
But Physically, Van Damme's a better actor because literally Van Damme knocks people. You know what I'm saying? He literally knocks men out.
I think he killed a
Like
guy in
he has.
Kickboxer. I think he killed an extra. I'm just
You
putting
know,
it out there.
you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I believe out of his like 19 fights, 18 were knockouts. He's not playing.
Karate
You know what I'm
champion.
saying? Yeah, he's a legit karate champ. You know,
Mhm.
used to hang out with Chuck Norris, kicking people in the face. You know, and again, that's with Norris too. Great at the martial arts, acting, nah, pass. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Nobody's trying to watch the Octagon today. Can I do it? Can I kill my brother? No one's watching the Octagon today. You know, you're watching Texas Walker, Texas Ranger. You're in a very specific demographic, shall we say?
That's
You know
why
what I mean?
his like the missing in action movies, they give him 8 lines of dialogue, and then they're like,
Exactly.
just hold 2 machine guns, shut up,
Right.
and like Top Dog, no. But Missing in
Right.
Action 3, which is one of the most absurd, just movies ever.
Yes.
What was that?
Yes.
What's the one where they attack USA? Oh man,
And probably called Invasion USA.
yeah, Invasion USA. That one is crazy.
Yeah.
Driving cars into malls, and I mean, yeah, just don't give him much dialogue. Put him against someone
Right.
else.
Right.
Just
And it's not
something
to
like
say that Van Damme is a quote unquote bad actor. He just didn't have the range for this particular character, but it's fine because okay, here's the play. This is the game. I got to disinfect the bombs, you piece of shit. That's a cool little monologue that he
Yeah.
gives. You know, you can see that he's given his all. But when he throws the phone at the glass in the bathroom, it's just such a weird throw. But then you realize, oh yeah, Van Damme literally can kick me in the face and knock me out. And that's why he's not as good at acting, because he put all his stuff into literally beating the shit out of people professionally.
Yeah.
You know?
And it sucks too, because it took him 6 years to finally get a movie. He was in the States doing everything he could
Yes.
to get a movie, and then he gets a movie, and then he gets a 10 grand a year or 10 grand a week drug problem. Like this guy, he could have, he could have, he got to the top, right? He was doing movies with John Woo. He was doing
Yes.
Time Cop was a hit. Sudden
Mhm.
Death was a good movie. Like
Mm-hmm.
he was getting there, and then he just blew it all up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, movies, films, and flicks, we support the career of Jean-Claude Van Damme. I don't know of a bad Van Damme movie that he was the star of. To even the one with him and Dennis Rodman, it's dumb, but you got Dennis Rodman and Jean-Claude Van Damme, witty bantering. It's a thing to watch. It comes on cable, you watch it. Whatever. His movies, like Bloodsport, is an all-time action movie.
All
I
time.
came here to train, not to be your son's punching bag.
But that movie works because Chong Li and the fighters in it. Like what an
Exactly.
incredible and he
It's
threw the
always a
final
build.
he threw the final fight, by the way. I have a theory about that. So he lost it on purpose. We can get into that later. But like they were smart though. Don't give him much dialogue.
Right.
So when you're in a JCVD movie, you need a ton of plot. And so Die Hard's great. But I mean McClane still has a lot of great actors around him, so that's why it's so
Right.
great. There's no weak spots. But in
Right.
Sudden Death, you're like, I feel bad for Powers Booth because in Rapid Fire, they're like, we need a good actor, Powers Booth, to be with Brandon Lee. Who
Yep.
can we get with JCVD? Powers Booth.
Yep.
And so you have Powers Booth, you have the kids, you have the Secret Service guy who has a lot of screen time.
Dorian Harewood, who
Yep.
that was a twist I was not expecting, that he was going to be a bad guy. It's
And he
great.
gets killed by a super soaker. Like you have the other criminals around. You have the guy at the chef's house. You have so many tiny like other plot lines because you got to construct something around JCVD.
Mm-hmm.
And like what's interesting about this one too? Like there's no butt shots, and so
None.
or spin kicks. And JCVD said like, hey, if you show me doing a split, you'll just think all the villains are dead. So I don't want to know splits. And like, what about butt shots? He's like, if you see my butt, like that this guy works out. And so I didn't want that. And so like he didn't just throw in all of his butt shots. When you go through his movies again, you just realize the sheer amount of butt shots. Like in Kickboxer, I didn't realize this as a kid because I was just like tongue pow. Like I was like, oh my gosh. But now you watch it, he flops, and then the little thing in the back flops up, and you can see his butt. Like he just
Bro.
And he admits to that. He's like men have a lot of nudity. Why can't women have stuff to look at?
There you go. And not only was he a martial arts champion several times, he was a bodybuilding champion.
Yeah.
And he's 5'11". You know what I mean? So he's not a big dude, quote unquote. He's just shredded, and he can kick you in the face.
John
You
Woo
know?
said that he could move beautifully. Like
Yeah.
Woo loves movement, and he said that he could. So
Oh
yeah, I
yeah.
mean, and also what I like too about JCVD is he did have a certain sensitivity. You talked about the jazz heavy sex scenes in Time Cop, but in like
Mm.
Bloodsport and stuff, like he's like a very monogamous guy. Like he always hooks up with
Yeah.
a lady, but it's just one. And
Mm-hmm.
but he loses a lot of the fights. He has to get like he's the underdog, and then he gets stronger to come back. And so I
Mm-hmm.
think, with Arnold and Sly was the underdog in a couple movies, but at this point, Sly's just like Rambo and stuff like that. He's slaughtering people. So there was a nice thing
Right.
about JCVD where he kind of had a sensitivity to him,
Mm-hmm.
which
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed. Like there was something different about him, and he wasn't huge. And I always like when Keanu Reeves got big in Speed. I really liked that because he was cool. And I like in most '90s movies, it was always the dude who's like, I'm gonna drive the car. But in Speed,
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock just gets on the wheel and he's like, all right, you got it.
Yeah.
And
You
I don't
got
know.
it. Yeah.
I dug that. And like Grosse Point Blank with John Cusack, sensitive dude, kicks ass. Lloyd Dobler too. So I always liked I liked him. I liked Keanu. I liked John Cusack because I don't know, they weren't the traditional burly dudes who would just snap your
No,
neck
not
or
at all.
swing a
They were
sword.
regular looking guys, right? They
Yeah.
were handsome, but regular looking guys.
And I guess that's what drew me to him because there was like a certain sensitive side, which I liked. Like I thought, I don't know, he was like just a little guy, but he was unafraid to kind of have some melodrama too in his movies. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and but this one especially, I don't think he's necessarily trying.
No, no.
Uh, but yeah,
His his character's got a lot going on. All right. He was born in Coeur de Montreal, 1962. So he's French Canadian. Yet again, they throw a line in there to explain the incredible accent, even though he's clearly been in America for decades. He knows how to defuse bombs. He knows how to make a bomb out of common household products. He knows how to MacGyver the arrow thing. Okay. All of this is from being a firefighter, right? And then you have the fact that, yes, he's good at fighting, but he doesn't look like Stallone throwing punches. He looks like a guy who, before he became a firefighter, was a kickboxing champion.
Yeah.
He's, and when he fights that woman, Carol, the penguin, when he fights the penguin, she gives him the business for a while, man. She puts in that work, for some reason, and I get it.
Carla.
The head of Carla, thank you.
Yeah.
The head of a mascot. Of course, it's an obvious target, but he's punching this mascot in the face, and it's hilarious, man. And she just kicks him, she throws him around, and it's such a classic movie kitchen fight. Yeah. Did they do the hot stove thing? No, but they did do the French fryer thing. That was a check, right? The meat slicer, check.
I have a breakdown if you want it.
Across the long table. Yeah, go for it, man.
So he tries to slice her belly, but then you have he gets put on a rolling cart with spaghetti.
Yes.
That falls all over the place. And then there's dishes. Then there's a roast beef or beef slicer. And then he gets slammed on a table and he flies through pot, salad, and food. And then there's an incredible amount of shrimp that he knocks over. And that leads to a grill where the beef is still cooking.
That's right.
And then there's a butcher knife, but then there's a nut shot. And then there's a fryer with cooking fries. Carla gets her hand burnt. Then the exhaust vent chops the top of her head. Then he gets knocked into another cart. Then she grabs a beef tenderizer and she tries to hit him. Then he grabs pepper and he puts pepper in her eyes. And then
which is brilliant. It was brilliant.
Amazing. And then she gets kicked into a rack of dishes. And then there's a tray. He hits her with a tray. And there's a beautiful wide shot where he kicks her into a dishwasher and chokes her to death. And then he's really tired after that.
He's exhausted. Yeah. Because, he's just McCord, man. He's a regular firefighter who's just an ex-firefighter who's just in, incredible shape. All right. So he has to go through these things, man. Now, Hallmark gets the 3rd-degree burns or worse.
Yes.
So her hand in the fryer, what do you think? That 2nd-degree burn?
At the very least. That's got to be
very
3rd.
Got to be 3rd. There's a lot of 3rd-degree burns in this movie. Like, people are on fire.
That should be on the poster. A lot of 3rd-degree burns. By
a lot of
verbal and scarring, like physical.
Oh, Boothe. If you say, why is it that you guys are in the Secret Service if it's supposed to be a secret? Don't tell anyone. I'm here all week. Thank you.
I'm the worst
False.
kind. Or what kind of psycho are you? The best kind. Just
He rules, man.
but this is one problem I have, and I want to talk to you about it. So
Do it.
he gets into a big fight with Carla. They destroy the kitchen. They legit
Destroy.
destroy the kitchen.
Mhm.
So at 32:55, let's see, the fight starts at 38, ends at 40:20. Now at 40:37 in the movie, he goes to hunt down a security guard. At
Yes.
40:43, the second period starts. There's 20 minutes. 41:27, Powers Boothe gets a call. 42:58, we're at this. It's 4 minutes have gone by. He comes back at 43 minutes. So he's been gone maybe 6 minutes.
Okay.
And the kitchen's totally clean.
Yes.
Who did that? It took 3 to 6 minutes to clean. So after that fight, a crew ran in there,
Right.
removed the body and everything in 3 minutes. Everything that was messed up, they fixed, and the floor's clean.
Okay. Here's my explanation. They're in that warehouse at the beginning of the movie where they show you, you know, the detonating penguin doll.
Yeah.
There's
he just sets a timer. He just sets a timer and walks away.
There's 18 guys in that room. I'm pretty sure. There's about 20 dudes total on his team. He has the personnel, man. There is plenty of cannon fodder. So the personnel is definitely there. It happened off screen, you know? Never forget, Palpatine died. Well, somehow Palpatine returns. Taking care of that. So that's explained.
In 3 to 6 minutes, they got there a minute after he left, and then they had about 3 minutes to clean the entire kitchen with all the shrimp, the bodies, everything, and get it out.
Bruh, remember, that guy threatens grandma, eats her fig Newtons, murders her, and ends up in the perfect spot to start blowing up helicopters with a bazooka.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
These people are talented, okay? These are not just, you know, sticking up liquor store criminals, man. These dudes are I'm a professional. I'm not a terrorist. You know?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They do it for the bread, and they are good at their jobs, man. And that's why they're so angry. Because a counterfeit agent, the entry-level salary is 50 grand, up to 100, right? And a Secret Service agent, the entry level is about 48K. Hell yeah, they're going to get together and steal $1.5 billion. We're clearly too good at our job. That's what it's all about.
And it fails because of JCVD.
And it fails because of, he's got heroic tendencies.
Actually, because of Carla. She takes a little girl with her.
Yeah. But it's because she ran out of bullets. You owe me a Mother's Day card.
It's a she under here, and she murders the security guard.
Yo, and he's still alive after he gets shot in the head. And just the little girl goes through a lot of trauma for what it's.
Yeah, she's done.
Because that is a lot. Okay.
She's almost dead hanging from that grate at the end. I was surprised she pulled herself up.
Dude, core strength. It's something that you take for granted when you're 7. For sure.
I don't think, though, like, I think there's certain actors who are good with kids. I don't think JCVD is a good kid act. So yeah, like between Nowhere to Run with Culkin and then this one, I think those are his only 2 kid movies. Like The Quest, maybe, but he just wanted to do he wanted to do a Chaplin-esque thing there. I don't know if he's a kid actor. He doesn't, like, Arnold can act with kids pretty good. I think Sly could probably do pretty well with kids. Batista can do well with kids. Cena can do well with kids. JCVD is not a kidder. Do you agree with that?
I honestly think because of the drugs at this point, man. Because you can't deal with children on cocaine. There's no way. There's no way you would have the patience to deal with children properly on cocaine, even as an actor. There's no way. There's no way. You know, and that little girl, my daddy's coming and he's going to be the best. I wanted to fill that little girl's mouth with spiders. Like, boy's an asshole. The little girl is adorable to the point of annoyance. Yes. Like I said, we had to sacrifice the girl. Here's Tyler. I'm going back to changing light bulbs. I'll see you next week.
He has spiders in her mouth, but he has spiders in his mouth, by the way.
By the way, yes, she got some spiders in her mouth. Might need to clear that out for the wake. Take it easy, stepfather. Okay. Enjoy banging my wife. I'm going back.
I love when that guy comes in. He's like, "You got any cookies?" She's like, "I think I have some fig Newtons."
Yeah.
I know it's out there, but like, also, I the one person I don't like is the goatee hack.
The one playing Doom.
Gum. Yeah, he's not too bothersome. He just sits at a computer and doesn't do much, but he just looks like such a 95 computer hacker.
Yes. The glasses, the snark.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of him. I don't know, but 95 had so much hacking. Like even Goldeneye had hacking,
Hmm.
hackers, the net.
Hmm. Hmm.
There's Johnny Mnemonic.
Johnny Mnemonic was around that time. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
So there's all these computer movies, and so you have to have a hacker, I guess, who comes in and gets the money. But whatever. He's not too bothersome.
No, no, and he's not in it that often. He's not a. They're sending the money, but not that fast because he wants to see him shoot somebody in the face. He's a psycho too.
He walks up and plugs people. But I like that they have Raymond J. Barry as the vice president. I think you put him in it.
Yes,
Like,
gravitas.
he belongs in a Tony Scott movie or like a Michael Bay movie. You put him in Crimson Tide, he works great. Like
100%.
I like so he's really good with Powers Booth. He can carry those scenes. I love all the smoke in this movie. Peter Hyams, you know what's crazy? This is a classy looking action picture. So it's supposed to
Oh
be a
yeah.
Die Hard on a blank knockoff, but the director is also a cinematographer. And he's already
Hmm.
directed a bunch of successful films by this point. I mean, he's worked
Hmm.
with Gene Hackman. He's worked with Sean Connery twice.
Hmm.
Like this is a
Hmm.
guy who gets big names. And so you have this JCVD yacked out of his mind, but I think you also have Himes who's just such a professional, and I don't know, I dig it. Like I think this is a classy looking ripoff, and
It is.
and it justifies its existence because it's a good looking movie. It's a
It's
very
a
good
good looking
looking
movie
movie. It's a
for sure.
handsome film, and
Hmm.
you know what? If you're a hockey owner and you go, you know what? I love how unpretentious the Baldwins were about this too. The lady just straight up goes, you know what, honey, we're billionaires. We have a place. I was a failed actor. uh, we should put a movie in here and have it like be like a Die Hard thing because they're popular. But I love how unpretentious that is.
A
Like
hundred percent
they're not like we're gonna make art. They're like, hey, we have a hockey stadium that can open and it's pretty cool. So
for sure.
let's make a Die Hard movie in here. And you know what's funny?
For
There was a
sure.
strike at this time, so they had to,
Yes,
they had to
at
bring
the
in like
NHL.
yeah, they had to bring like 10,000 people in. And then the guy who owned it was a little annoyed. He's like, yeah, I had to have two minor league teams come in and
Hmm.
play for us. I'm trying to find what the names were. So like they were saying, let's see. Oh, so the idea of the guy with the mask, he's like, my husband and I developed a story called Red Line about a Soviet goaltender who's able to defect because he's wearing his mask.
That's a terrible
So
movie.
then they reused that. But yeah, he had to so they had a exhibition match between the Cleveland Lumberjacks and
And that's right.
the Penguins. And so they had to film a couple games. They had to bring in a bunch of extras. But that adds so much to this movie. It just looks great. And even the Penguins announcers are there. Luke Robitel, like he's in sudden death.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jay Caulfield and Mark Kachowski, they're in the broadcast booth, like Mike Lang and color commenter Paul Stegerwald, like they were the people from the arena. And I love that, man. Like I feel like I do miss in 90s movies. There's so many sports movies. And
Oh yeah.
I love a packed stadium back in the like Angels in the Outfield or Rookie of the
Oh yeah.
Year. All
Hmm.
Major League. All those movies just pack stadiums, and I kind of miss that.
This is because you have that communal experience going, man. And I didn't watch hockey on TV. And
Did you
I have only been to one hockey game in my life, and I still knew that ESPN that theme music. I knew that. I knew that ESPN Hockey Tonight music, and I knew of those announcers. I don't care if you're packing heat, you couldn't get in here. He's just got the craziest catch. Scratch my back with a hacksaw. buy buy Sam a drink and get his dog one too. Goals. The game is just as interesting as the movie because you have two ticking clocks. Yeah. The fact that at the end of every period, he's going to shoot at least one person.
Yep.
And then, oh, by the way, the two best words in sports, game 7, is going on as we speak. And it's good hockey. It's shot really well. The game looks interesting as hell, dude. It's never boring when they cut to the hockey so that they can cut to another scene of drama. It's such a well done movie, man. It
And
looks really good.
if you watch playoff hockey or even Stanley Cup, it's insane, Norbert. Just
Yeah,
put up
it
if
is.
you've never watched hockey before, just put on a Stanley Cup game or put on a playoff hockey game and it will knock your socks off. So
Yes, it's
like
so fast.
I played NHLPA 93 and I was the
Y-
Vancouver Canucks guy and you could make heads bleed. So my
yes.
brother was the Rangers, I think, and then I think my brother was the Rangers. I think he might have been the Rangers. And
Yeah,
then
95, that's Messier.
yeah, great team. And like yeah, I was a Vancouver Canucks guy.
For
And
sure.
then the Tampa Bay Lightning I loved. Like I wasn't a
For
huge
sure.
follower of them, but I knew when they were in the Stanley Cup. I knew when they had some really good years with
Hmm.
Lecavalier and other people. Yeah, I mean, I knew enough about hockey at this time. But I didn't see this movie in the theater. I don't know why. I remember seeing the trailers for it, and I watched pretty much every single 95 action movie in the theater. I went to Die Hard with a Vengeance. I went to Rumble in the Bronx. I went to Mortal Kombat. I went to Desperado, but for Under Siege 2. But for some reason, I missed this one in the theater. I don't know. I guess when I saw it, it was kind of after Street Fighter and a couple things, and I saw the trailer. I'm like, JCVD has to protect two kids in like a Die Hard ripoff during hockey. Like, it's not a
Pass.
strong trailer. And I don't know. Did you see this in the theater?
I'm pretty sure that I saw this on cable and then bought it on DVD
Yeah.
in the aught,
I mean, this
because it used to be on TV all the time. It's one of those kind of movies.
Yeah, I didn't even watch it or have any interest in watching it until I learned about the kitchen fight. And then I
Hmm.
went, "Oh, okay. Like this is it." Because
Hmm.
95 was a bit of a change for action cinema because Michael Bay had Bad Boys coming out,
Yes.
and like there was like Heat and also Rumble in the Bronx with Jackie Chan. So you were kind of even like Desperado came out with Robert Rodriguez, and even Die Hard with a Vengeance felt very fresh. So I felt like there's like a new wave of action films being ushered in, and Sudden Death
Yeah,
felt very antiquated for
it is. It
it's
is. It
even in
is.
95 it did. And so I kind of just stayed away from it. Like Heat came out that year, Crimson Tide, like GoldenEye
Hmm.
came back and was felt really fresh. A new
Yeah.
era for Bond. So I kind of I don't know, I wasn't too hot. Like Heat was out, which we've talked about. But yeah, for
Yeah.
some reason this movie went under my radar for so long. But I'm mad and I'm not too bummed because when I finally watched it, I went, yes, this is it. This is the movie.
It's what you're saying is true, because it's just one man, and he racks up a body count.
Yep.
6 people get killed during the national anthem, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean? There's a lot of bodies in this movie. A lot of bodies. The entire Pittsburgh police force is outside of the stadium by the end of the first period. So you do have that old school element of, a lot of people get killed. How's he going to get out of this situation? Oh, by the way, it's also just Die Hard in a hockey arena.
With kids.
So yeah, with kids, with
But
kids.
you think
Hmm.
about Die Hard, he has an estranged wife, but there's no kids.
Right.
He's just a grumpy cop showing up to do that. When you think about Under Siege, there's absolutely you know what I love about a Seagal character? There's nothing wrong ever with him. Like
No.
he didn't let a girl die in a fire. He's just
Mm-mm.
completely like quote unquote awesome and
Yeah, he's
just
just a quote
destroys
unquote
people.
badass. That's right.
But
Yeah.
man, Under Siege with Tommy Lee Jones and Busey and Erica Eleniak and him, like that
Mm.
felt like a very and Andrew Davis directed it. Like I was
Mm.
all about that. But I guess when I saw this, yeah, like we said, it was just a knockoff with kids. I don't know. I was not in on it, but now I am, and I adore this movie. So
Oh
it's
yeah. Oh
I,
yeah. And he tries his best, man. He gives you the action that you need. He tries to get some, emotion going with, the death of the little girl and the wife, that kind of gives him a little bit of guff about surprising the kids. But, like you said before, man, even the stepfather, he's cool with it. Whatever. This guy's a loser. He changes light bulbs in a hockey arena. He'll be, he's no threat of taking my wife. Like, why did they even get divorced? Because he was depressed that a child died in his arms? Like, the world is just mean to this guy,
yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah, yeah, and he's not out. It's kind of annoying too. Like I feel like if this was Bruce Willis, he'd be an alcoholic too.
An alcoholic, exactly.
If it was
Right.
Mel
He's clearly
Gibson,
not.
his wife would be dead, and he would be an
Exactly.
alcoholic.
Exactly. The great irony is that his character is not into drugs at all. It's the greatest irony. That
Yeah, he's just
he's
and like he's doing well. I mean,
uh,
if you're working as the fire marshal for an entire arena, you are the fire marshal for an entire arena.
you're getting some coin. Yeah. You're getting some coin.
Yeah,
You're not broke.
yeah, exactly. And so he's like getting back on his feet slowly. He
Mhm.
takes his kids to game 7, and everyone's just talking shit about him.
Just
Man.
he's not a firefighter, bro. You got tickets to Game 7 for nothing. You escaped from having to hang out with your sister, your mom, and your stepdad in some stupid dinner.
Do you know
Shut
where,
up,
you
kid.
know where this came from though? Just JCVD yacked out of his mind. You know what we need? A kid, and I'm a loser, and they think I'm a loser. but I overcome it. Like, because that's all he wanted to talk about. Just, oh, yeah. Like, wait, you want to bring kids in? Yeah. And they hate me because I'm a loser and I win them over.
His,
And you're like, oh,
his
no.
character's not a loser at all. That's the thing.
He's
His,
doing pretty great aside from the divorce.
his character has a stable job. His character could literally just move to another city and become a firefighter again with those qualifications. You know, he's clearly not poor. He wasn't broke. He just handed the kids money for food. He just like shovels a handful of cash at them. You know, he wasn't worried about the bread. Just shut up, sit down and watch the game.
Didn't he show up in a Mustang
I
to
think
pick up
so.
his kids?
Yeah.
And that's a divorced dad.
Why is he a loser? I don't understand. You know, he does a good job by changing that light bulb. That's the job you're supposed to do.
Trying to find his car.
You know, the question is, since he's been fire marshal, has the place burned down? No. Doing a good job. What part of the game is this?
He drives a 68 Mustang.
Dude, that's a cherry car.
Yeah, and this is 95. He's driving a 68. So
it's an expensive car at the time. Yeah.
Like, he's not the fire marshal for a strip mall. He's the fire marshal for the Pittsburgh Penguins Game 7 Stanley Cup game.
Yeah, it's an important job, technically.
Yeah, he's not a loser.
He's probably making more money than the Secret Service.
Do you think that's why Bruce Willis was so great? Oh, he probably was. Yeah, 48,000. Bruce Willis was great, though, because he could just look like he rolled out of the trash. Like, he did. The last Boy Scout. You're like,
man.
Like, this guy's drunk. This guy in Die Hard, when he's just crawling around, you're like, this guy's tired. And he was, because he was doing moonlighting. And I was like, this guy's exhausted. So he was so good at that. Like, it's just, he was almost too good at it, because you're like, man, this guy's a real dirtbag. But I don't think JCVD could ever pull that off. And I don't think he ever did. Like, when he has to be a criminal, he's too nice. Like, one thing about JCVD screen present is he always rings nice. I think he seems like a nice dude.
A sincere guy, yeah.
He can't Bruce Willis it. He's not as funny as Arnold. He's not a legitimate good actor director as Sly. So he just had to rely on like his physicality and his muscles.
And being handsome, yes.
Yeah. And so he kind of had to, but that's the problem though, is he built himself up over nothing. He hustled everywhere he could until he got Bloodsport. And then he with you know, he spoke better English than, you know, I have a lot of people go try to speak French. You know, it's
exactly
Americans do that. So he's doing 2 languages. He made it to the top of the pile, but I think he did it by being like a different version of those guys. So it's like, you know, him and Seagal, there's not a really long-term solution for them, because Seagal's just always going to Seagal. Like, he will never be interesting. Like, there's a movie where he's in a coma and the nurse is like, oh man, look at that guy's dick. Like, she like falls in love with him. And you're just like, oh my gosh. And so for JCVD, he just didn't have, you know, he fought so hard to get to where he's at, but he didn't really have the range to
the training.
In Hard Target, John Woo worked with his physicality. In Street Fighter, he was just yacked a lot. You know, Maximum Risk, that was not good. He has like a chainsaw. The Quest, he tries to do a cheeky movie like Charlie Chaplin. But yeah, and he's not too good with buddy cop movies either, because the banter's not going to be great. So you can't tango and cash him. You can't put him with kids. You just kind of got to have him do the same thing over and over. And I think that was tough for him. Like, I think there's a time limit to that kind of actor. And then he had to kind of get older and then come back with JCVD, and now he has some pretty good range. So give him credit for sticking around, which I think is pretty great. And if you watch Kickboxer Vengeance now, or Kickboxer Retaliation, he's good.
Right.
He's
good in those. Yes, he is. He is. And here's the thing: to compare him favorably against Seagal, I don't rewatch Seagal movies ever.
Never.
I don't. The ones that he kept coming out with that were only 3 words: above the law, out for justice, hard to kill. Like, you're not trying to watch those movies again.
No.
Especially not today. And not even because of what you know about Seagal's personality as just an objectively terrible human being, and a guy who in his later career just refused to move on screen, even though he's supposed to be an action star. Like, those movies are no longer going to take you to the bank, Senator, the blood bank. Like, I'm not trying to watch Seagal movies again.
No.
But Van Damme movies are repeatable.
Yes.
Even the bad one, the quote unquote bad one.
Dude,
And the
Bloodsport
12 you put
all day.
I watch Bloodsport right now instead of talking to you. I'll turn this off and just go, a fight to survive. What? That's a banger.
Cyborg. I'll do that right now.
Life.
Universal Soldier. I'm putting that on right now.
You know what I'm saying?
Hard Target.
Yeah,
Give it to me. My mama took a chance on me. Street
He's
Fighter.
from the Bayou.
Bison. I'm watching that right now.
Why not? Why not?
Time Cop is too much. Time Cop, there's way too much plot.
You know what, man? You know what doesn't have too much plot? Sudden death is the game.
One of my all-time great movie memories. 12 years old, walked up to a movie theater. I went, one for Time Cop, please. The guy at the counter just looked at me and smiled and go, here you go. And he sold me a ticket for Time Cop. So I went and watched Time Cop when I was 12 by myself. I got dropped off at the theater when I was 12 to watch Time Cop, by the way, Norbert. And so I'm just like, that was one of the guy was so cool. He could have been a dick about it, but he went, I got you. And then I watched Time Cop. So yeah, that
of course.
And I don't know. Hard Target was a little much for me when I was 11. Because that's a pretty nasty movie.
Yes. It's John Woo. It's John Woo's American debut as a director, and you got Lance Henriksen, who cannot do anything less than turning it up to 11, even when he's playing things quiet, because he just looks so menacing. Him and Tommy Lee Jones, that just we have clearly been drinking since we were 5. Those lines in their face thing. He's just menacing, and you know he's an all timer too, man.
Oh man.
So
yeah,
that's where you get it.
And Vasu Boudreaux.
Oh yeah, man. Oh my God. I do love this movie, man. Here's the game, and here are the rules. You've got your hostages, you've got your bombs, so you can get your money. I'm gonna try to stop you, but I don't want anyone to get hurt. You stop me, you win. I get your bombs, I win. That's the game I'm gonna play, you piece of shit. Now, if you touch her, the game's off. Then I'll come after you. You have to kill me in front of everybody in this arena. There will be panic, and the Secret Service, SWAT, the fucking Navy will have to come in here. Then you don't get your money. You lose, pal. You know what I mean? These are bars. He really tried his best there. That's a great scene. The camera's all close up on his face, and he's just doing menace. You know?
In that kitchen
I don't give
fight.
A shit. Oh man.
And the hockey scene.
Yeah, right. Folks, don't get it twisted. We're not saying that Jean-Claude Van Damme is bad in this movie. Just that he doesn't have the range to really pull it off. There are certain parts, like that part right there, that little soliloquy, come and get me. Like, okay, I'm in. You got me. You got me. You touched that little girl.
There are few people who move as good as him in action cinema. I think, I mean, you could probably look at, I think nowadays is like Iko Uwais, Scott Adkins, but they're like, I think I've watched every Scott Adkins movie, but he has a very kind of stuntman approach to it where it all looks very, what's the word? It looks very stuntman-y, controlled, graceful. And he's one of the best. Any Scott Adkins movie comes on, I'll put down everything I'm doing, just stare at the screen from about 13 inches away. Like, you know how dads do that when they're watching a movie? Like when Crimson Tide comes on and dads just stop and stare at it for about 2 hours.
Amazing.
But the one thing about Jean-Claude Van Damme is his moves felt a little dangerous. Like they were no. I know he did level a few people on set, but I kind of like that about him. So you know when stuntmen, they're almost too pretty. I like where JCVD had grace, but also you felt like he kicked that guy. Like he kicked that guy. So I like that about him. Like I like that it never felt that controlled, his fight scenes, and I kind of love that about him. So no, he's a great
physical presence.
But I mean, this movie works though because of the director, Powers Boothe, and the fact that everyone knew exactly what they were making and they didn't get lazy about it. That's why this movie works. As much as I love JCVD, smart decisions were made. Everyone knew that they were making a Die Hard knockoff in a sports arena, but they would packed it full. The guy did, I think the owner just did it for his wife. He's like, all right, honey, we got money. It's cool.
What are the odds?
They recouped their money back.
They had, sure.
You know, it's cool too. You're shooting at an arena, so you're just parked there. Like they probably had plenty of room for parking. They didn't have to move every day. They shot in the same spot. You could probably leave your gear inside the arena. It was just a smart well-crafted, die-hard knockoff by a good director with a inspired casting and several
Hmm.
really good set pieces. So yeah, this
Hmm.
is on all accounts, this is a good movie.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Remember, his films have grossed over $3.3 billion worldwide. And like one of the most expensive movies he did at the time was like $15 million budget. Make 100 million. He's just doing that all the time. Just
Yeah.
all like he was a megastar. He was a megastar. Kickboxing record, 18 wins, 18 by knockout, one loss. Amateur record, 44 out of 48 fight wins, four losses. The man will kick you literally across the room, from across the room. Hmm? He was the model that they used when they made Johnny Cage. They couldn't get him, so they just, yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, you're
Good.
right. From Bloodsport,
You know
pretty
what I
much.
mean? Yeah, yeah. The muscles from Brussels.
Do you know
His awkward dancing in Bloodsport was awesome. What's up?
what I miss is he moved over from Belgium. He had a gym called Hollywood, and he
Yes.
hustled for 6 years. Stallone
Mhm.
had to hustle and pawn his dog and buy his dog back. Like Schwarzenegger was in the middle of what Austria, just bench pressing things, and then he got movie roles. Eddie Murphy just sort of showed up.
At 19, just
Yeah,
went to LA
yeah,
from New York.
just showed up, and I miss those days. I think those
Yeah.
days now, I mean, there's always been a lot of what like nepotism in it. There's always been that. So like where those days aren't over. But
Mhm.
I love that these guys came from absolutely nowhere. And you know what's too, like I think since they came from nowhere, like Eddie Murphy's life, if you learn about his parties, if you learn about JCVD, if you learn about Stallone's parties, if you learn about
Right.
Arnold, like
Right.
these guys came from kind of nothing and then they
Right.
became global superstars. And
Right.
they, of course, their budgets got too big, but I kind of love it.
Mm.
Like they didn't grow up with wealth. I think some actors
Right.
who they've grown up with wealth, so they're like they don't care. They're like, I'm just rich. I can go make as many indies as I want. These guys legit
Mhm.
wanted to take over the world, and
Yes.
I miss those days where
Yeah, man.
and I'm not saying they were better. I just think
I know what you mean.
watching them just like these dudes from nowhere and they want to like just start like Hollywood whatever that whole was it the restaurant, the Hollywood thing, Planet Hollywood, and they
Planet
just
Hollywood, yes.
like they're just. But I love that they all
Terrible
had
food.
like Nick. Just they're just out there blowing money, starting restaurants. Like Bruce
Yeah.
Willis too. Like these guys just like I miss it. Like they just came out of nowhere and then they just wanted to rule the world. Like Jim Carrey,
Hmm.
Adam
Hmm.
Sandler. um,
Hmm.
they were megastars who like just came out of no. I don't know. I just think that's fun. I
No, I understand what you're saying, man. There's an element of Americana to it. People making themselves from nothing.
yeah.
Van Damme stealing food to eat, for Christ's sake. Going from that to Cyborg, Universal Soldier, making movies across the world. There's an appreciation that you have when you come from nothing
And
and
then
you put it out there. You put the work in.
they got so big.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they
I
did.
just
And he
read a
came
book
back
about
down to earth.
Yeah, he did. I read a book about Murphy's career, and like that guy, I wish I could have gone to one. Well, no, I don't wish I could have gone to one of his parties because,
You'd
geez
probably be
Louise.
dead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that and a Magic Johnson. From what I've heard about Magic Johnson's parties too. Geez Louise.
Forget about
But
it.
yeah, no, there's something admirable about the guy. He really did work hard, and he made it.
Mhm.
He's speaking another language, and he became one of the biggest stars on the planet. I don't know if that's gonna happen again. I don't think the world does that anymore.
No,
So.
no, it's movie directors and producers now. How many followers do you have on Instagram? How many views do you have on YouTube?
Mhm.
That's what people are saying. And now, ominously, can we just replace you with an AI act? That's becoming more of a thing, unfortunately, you know?
Or they just find
So,
some random Australian actor and they're like, all right, you're in every movie ever now. And then people are like, no, this guy kind of sucks.
well,
So
no, yeah, Jai Courtney,
yeah.
what's that other dude,
Well, it's
Pacific Rim dude.
yeah, Charlie Hunnam and all that. Like,
Just put
and
him in
then Sam
everything.
Worthington, like, oh, you were in one movie. Now you're in
Now you're in
everything.
everything.
Like
Why?
Jean-Claude, he had to work his way up. No Retreat, No Surrender, Black Eagle, Bloodsport, Kickboxer. Like he put some years in. Some nowadays, like, who's this actor? He's the greatest thing ever. And you're like, what?
He
Like
is Australian too. Did I mention that?
that'd be
Oh, well.
that'd be amazing. Norbert, I do a off Broadway play in Atlanta. You're like, this guy's
Mhm.
incredible. Pacific Rim 3, Star. The next thing you know, I'm everywhere, and you're like, "What happened?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just making money while I can."
I'm also Australian.
Yeah. Well, good day, mate.
That helps.
But like Chris Hemsworth, he was in a few movies, and then he was like the biggest dude ever.
Just everywhere. Everywhere.
Wait, who else is
Here's
there?
another. Here's a quick question for you though.
Yeah.
Fig Newtons. Yes or no?
Yes.
They're like Pop-Tarts to me.
You like them? You don't like Pop-Tarts?
The old lady, she keeps the Fig Newtons
Yeah.
in the pantry, but she keeps the machine gun in with the produce.
Yeah.
I can take or leave Fig Newtons, but I do love cold Pop-Tarts. I don't think I've ever eaten a hot Pop-Tart in my life.
Too much work.
Why? Why am I putting this in to it? Why do I want to melt this delicious goodness?
Cold. There's nothing better than a cold Pop-Tart. Or just no room temp Pop-Tart.
Exactly. And that's what I mean when I say cold. You just open the foil, just eat the box.
How do you eat Fig Newtons? I eat the sides first. And then I eat the top.
I tried.
And then I do the bottom with the fig. So I love some fig. And I don't want to lose it in all that delicious Newton.
This is my point. Exactly. Like, what is happening with a fig? What the hell is that? It seems like an abomination that was created in a laboratory. I've tried Fig Newtons once. No, not a fan.
There's nothing natural about them, but I love them.
Yeah. Well, America. These are the snacks. The fact that we're still alive somehow after growing up in the era of Ecto Cooler and Lunchables,
Everything processed. It's
everything.
You know how many snackable bologna things I ate? I don't even think that's meat.
There's no way bologna is technically meat, the same way that Taco Bell is technically beef.
Oh,
Yeah.
You
all really have to consider the fact that they're selling untold number of these things for 99 cents each. That's not beef, bro. It's not beef. It's a $1 billion corporation. What are you eating? I'm Norbert Moorman.
Last thing. Start Bench Drop. 1995 action movie edition.
All right.
Okay, you ready for this?
Let's go.
Bad Boys, Desperado, or let's see. Bad Boys, Desperado, or I'm trying to find something. Or you know what? Sudden Death.
Bad Boys, Desperado, Sudden Death. Ooh.
Oh, The Quick and the Dead. I covered that on this show too.
Start Desperado, bench Bad Boys, Sudden Death's got to go. You got to start Desperado because Salma Hayek, sweet Jesus.
So in 95, my dad and I went to a movie, and there was this guy who went with us, Alfonso. And Alfonso, we went and watched like some PG rated movie because with my mom I could do whatever I wanted, but with my dad I had to watch like PG rated movies, and I was with him every other weekend. And so Alfonso went and watched Desperado, and my dad and I watched Indian in the Cupboard, or I don't know, something like that.
Indian in the Cupboard.
And after we got out, Alfonso was just like, he's like, that movie,
bro.
He's like, there's this Salma Hayek in it, and like he had no words. He just kind of went like, just And I went and saw it in the theater, and like probably the next weekend, and I just went Salma Hayek.
Yeah. Period. There are no words. Do you understand? She still looks like that, and she's 60. She still looks like that.
I've told this story 100 times, but do you know what happened after I watched Desperado? My mom took me to a Florida flea market, and I, with my allowance, I got $5 a week. I bought throwing knives from a Florida. I'm 13. I bought throwing knives.
Florida's so dangerous.
From a Florida flea market, and then I went home barefoot. Walk through the grass barefoot, which is insane in Florida grass, with all the snakes and lizards and bugs and everything. I go up to a palm tree. I take out one of the throwing knives. I throw the throwing knife. It bounces off the palm tree, and it does this big arc, and it lands between my big toe and whatever the toe next to it is, right in between them. Didn't cut anything, but it went straight into the ground. It just went.
It's like as in it would have severed your toe. I got you.
Yeah, yes. And I kind of just went,
Lesson learned.
And I picked it up and went back inside and never threw those things ever again. But you should see just barefoot 13-year-old Mark, probably with a bowl cut at this time, Norbert, walks up to a palm tree, throws it and I almost get a throwing knife directly into my foot.
Jeez. Message. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Mark. That's hilarious. Throwing knives. Why is your takeaway from Desperado? I should buy throwing knives.
Because Danny Trejo had throwing knives.
What is wrong with you people from Florida? This is a question that the rest of the country asks on a daily basis. What is wrong with Florida?
And I thought that Florida man scene was like the coolest thing ever, so I just went and got him.
This is proto Florida man, Mark, and thankfully you have evolved. Florida man. Florida man is real, ladies and gentlemen. Google it.
I was
Just
Florida
type in the
boy.
2 words Florida man and see
No,
what
but
happens.
I was a pretty adult 13. No, I was a Florida boy at this point.
Well, that's why I said prototype.
Prototype.
You're
There it is.
Proto Florida man.
Man,
Oh.
I wish you would have remembered. I wish you would have seen that because that thing just right between my toes and into the just thump. I went,
You're a
"Whoa."
madman. That's hilarious.
But I went to a palm tree.
Yeah.
Like
Of
what?
course you did.
Of course I did.
A palm tree is mad hard. A palm tree is like harder than a regular tree. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I also had a butterfly knife.
Yes, I had one of those too.
At
That was the
13
thing though, because you could get one in New York at in Chinatown.
Yep.
Those are great.
I
Things
was
are
like
sweet.
13 with a butterfly knife.
Those things are sweet, bro.
I mean, that was in every movie ever. Those and switchblades. It was
Yes.
like in every single 80s action film, there was a switchblade.
Mhm.
So I grew up like, yeah, everyone has a switchblade. Everyone has a butterfly knife.
The butterfly knife was more awesome though. We have John Woo probably to thank for that.
Oh man. And they stabs on top of someone's head.
Sweet. Yes.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So that was me at 13, Norbert. All right. Where can people
Salma
find you, man?
Hayek. All right, Norbert Morvan at Eddie Kane on Twitter and Norbert Morvan all over the internets and Norbert.wtf. That's the website with the weird stuff going on.
You know what, Norbert? Salma Hayek 95. She's probably the only person that ever just made me go, poof.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I-
No words.
I pulled the Alfonso where he just went, poof.
There's no words. There's no words. She still looks like that too. It's
Oh yeah, she was in Fair Game too. Jeez Louise.
good God. She still looks like
There's so many buttons. Okay, so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Norbert Morvan, this is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.